Hi, folks. So it's been a while since I've been on. I took a week off to recuperate and get things put back together after Carrollton Band Day. We had a great day. It was so good to hear the music again, and we just had a great time. So here we are back to the telomere effect and foods, good and bad. So, kicking the bad food habit. It is so hard, so hard, especially when some of those foods we love have addictive qualities. But when you can identify with personal motivation for changing a habit, you're more likely to be successful. So here are some questions to begin with. This is food for thought for a Monday. How is your diet affecting you? What do you most want to change? Why exactly are you concerned about how much fast food or junk food you eat? Do you have diabetes or a heart disease, or do you have a history of that in your family? Do you want to lose weight? Are you worried about your telomeres? What part of you wants to change, and what part of you doesn't? What are the things that you most care about? What or who are the people you most care about? How would making this change impact you and the people that you do care about? That is a long list of questions, but for today, I encourage you to spend some time answering at least a few of them. Tomorrow, I'll talk about my answers over a year ago. Good Tuesday morning. I have told my story, and if you've listened to my videos, you know it already. However, today I'm going to answer a few of those questions I asked you to answer yesterday. My diet was affecting my mobility. The more I ate the junk food, the less I moved because it hurt to move. And yet, it hurt not to move. I most wanted to change that I felt like I couldn't do the things I wanted to do because my body hurt too much to do them. I became concerned about the sugar and the junk food that I was consuming because of how horrible my body felt. I don't have a family history of diabetes or heart disease. However, my grandmother suffered from arthritis, and I'm guessing from at least mild rheumatoid arthritis. Yes, I wanted to lose weight, but mostly I wanted to feel better. Before reading The Healing Self, I didn't even know what a telomere was, but now I am concerned with keeping them from shortening anymore. And when I finally decided to make a lifestyle change, there wasn't a single part of me that didn't want to change. I'm guessing the entity we most care about, all of us, is our family. I want to be able to do things with my family for as long as possible. And now I feel like that is a possibility, whereas before, I wasn't so sure. So have you answered your questions yet? So once you've identified your strongest source of motivation, the book suggests that you visualize it. Can you picture yourself active and healthy at the age of 90? Can you picture yourself doing things with your children or grandchildren that you hadn't been able to do? I didn't have this book when I started, but I can tell you I visualized myself being happier, taking walks, enjoying fishing more, and believe it or not, something as simple as not dying every time I climbed the stairs of my house. Your image needs to be strong and something that will motivate you to turn from temptation. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate your readiness to change? If you're at a 6 or lower, you're going to have to really explore what motivates you. And it happens with small steps. For one small behavior you are ready to focus on right now, pick it and get started. One change leads to another. Find that one thing. What's your homework today? Well, visualize yourself after you successfully made the change you want to make, and maybe you're already ready to find one small thing that you can change today. Maybe a glass of water extra. Maybe 5 minutes of walking to and from your office. Who knows what it is? What is your one thing you can change today? Happy Thursday. I have a question for you. Man, I've had questions all week, right? Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that you can make a lifestyle change? What are some of your obstacles that you might have made the score to yesterday's question a 6 or lower? Now might be a good time to use that challenge mindset and employ that good stress. How did past moments when you overcame an obstacle feel? That's one thing you can ask yourself as you start on this journey. And visualize that feeling that you had when you reached success. Your confidence in accomplishing a new goal is first determined by whether you will even try. That's right, even try. And second, whether you will be persistent when you hit an obstacle. Setting small goals is very important to your overall success. If you can achieve the first small goal, then the next and the next, your confidence will continue to grow. Remember yesterday, I said, what about trying to drink an extra glass of water or walk an extra 5 minutes or, I don't know, park farther from the door to the grocery store, right? Setting small goals is what we have to do. Are you trying to create a new habit or break an old one? That is a key question too. Or are you trying to do both? I wanted to break the old habit of falling back on fast food when life got a little hectic. But I also wanted to create a new habit of walking and exercising every day. So I'll refer back to that question. What motivates you? What is it that's going to get you moving and eating healthier? Okay, so all week I've been asking you to figure out what is motivating you and what your goals could be and how you could set small ones, okay? So now I'm going to give you some tips from the telomere effect. We gravitate toward those things that are automatic to us, right? It's just how our brains work. So, small changes. If you want to get more sleep, don't start with an hour early. You'll never make it. Start with 10 or even 5 minutes and build towards your goal. Can you change your breakfast to a healthier choice? Maybe just even once a week, then twice, 3, 4. It'll gradually change. I started with a half a mile walk and then a mile. I finally worked up to 3 miles every morning. And I didn't start getting out of bed at 4:30 in the morning when I first started. I had the habit of walking well established at a time which was more convenient during the day before I started back to school. Then I just had to move it to morning, and since I was already walking, it was an easier move to make. Hitch the small change you want to make to another activity that's already part of your routine. So can you take a walk at lunch? Can you try a mini meditation while your computer is booting up in the morning? The book suggests trying to schedule your change for morning. We all know that the earlier we are in the day, the less likely your emergencies will nudge you off the rails. And don't decide, should I or shouldn't I? As the book says, making decisions is exhausting. Just do it. And lastly, celebrate. Have a quick mini celebration each time you practice your new habit. It really is a way to make yourself successful. And so next week, we'll talk about breaking the old habits.